Hello and welcome to the Ink Archive. My name is Briar, and today I am joined with Tyler at our locals here, and we are going to be having some fun matches. Tyler, tell us what we got going on today.
Hey, so nice to be back on comms with Briar again. It's been a couple weeks. But today we have, I believe it is a Sapphire, Amethyst, so Blurple, up against the Emerald Steel, like discard deck, I believe. Our previous set champs champion is here again, making a splash. These two players are pretty good. They both kind of know what they're doing, so we can expect a pretty intense match from both of these two, especially with Adam having been on Blurple for so long. Josh isn't the player to always play Green Steel or like Emerald Steel discard, but he's played a variety of different decks. It's not surprising to see him to try this one out. So we'll see. Have to see how both players end up dealing with these matchups.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting match because we have this veteran here, Adam, that is going to be playing this Blurple deck, and he's been, of course, playing this deck for a very long time. And he was playing a different version of this. He was taking a look at one of the CCS tournaments, and this is one of the decks in the top 16. He was wanting to try it out, kind of see what's going on with the deck and see what other people are playing out there. And of course, it's going to be pretty cool to see what he can do with it and what other combos other people are thinking of that he's been thinking as well. And then we have Josh, of course. That's you have that Green Steel, which is going to be a really fun cards. Like, he has the new access to the Beyond Horizon, and using that type of combo, putting your opponents down to 3 cards in their hand, and then you're being able to draw 3 cards, which is really nice. So we'll see kind of how that pairs up against this Blurple list, because Blurple definitely wants to have a lot of cards in their hand towards that later game. So we want to see maybe if we can get that Beyond the Horizon towards the end and put Adam down to only 3 cards in his hand would be great.
Yeah, so cards to note from Adam that are pretty like new and interesting are he's playing the one cost, the Royal Guard. I forget the name. Octopus Soldier, that's what it is. That one's pretty interesting. It's a 1-drop that decks aren't playing, like Blurple decks haven't played 1-drops in quite a while. But obviously he still has his access to this Bell line, and he is trying out the new Ana, that has support. That Ana is extremely good. It's just, and this deck does naturally play a bunch of Elsas, so like that card is pretty good. I don't know how it is just a one of, so I don't know how big it's been for him, but the card seems really strong.
Yeah, no, the Ana is definitely a very interesting card and can be very strong as well. And getting that support definitely is nice, getting that extra 3 strings to something, and it kind of like does a mini crab per se almost, for certain characters, which is really good, to kind of help challenge into some things, to keep that board under control with their challenging wise anyway.
Yeah. So this is where this game gets kind of interesting. Green Steel has a bunch of targets for things like Ursula, and like if he can put Adam down enough cards early enough in the game, then Adam might struggle a bit. Obviously, Adam here seeing basically all of his friends on the other side pretty early helps him. Like the discard strategy seems kind of not so great now, because it's like he just has so many cards in his hand, and it's going to take forever for Josh to actually be able to get him down to enough cards in his hand, like get him down to nothing, right? So he's really going to have to fish for like a Beyond the Horizon or something.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, seeing all these friends is just insane, and being able to get the bell to sing it really quickly is really nice. But now we get to see this Prince John come out and a Sudden Chill being sung. So being able to kind of refill cards and drawing cards while your opponent's discarding things is really good here. So kind of helping control some of that. And we'll see if we can keep that control of the hand of Adam, and trying to reduce his hand size here. But Prince John is definitely really good.
I see Hypnotize in Josh's hand right now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that next turn. It's not like Adam is applying a ton of pressure, so he might just try to take advantage of how slow he's being at the moment.
Yeah, and we also saw like a Pirate Pete and a the Pete game referee in his hand here, so that's really cool to kind of stop some of those actions being played on Adam's side if we get to play that referee. And then we see some other, I think it was Storm as well in his hand. So that could kind of help him chip some damage to knock out some Bell or even knock out this Royal Guard here. But we do see this Scrooge that came out on Adam's board. That's a 5/5 Scrooge. Just a simple vanilla card here, but it's pretty beefy being a 5/5.
Yeah, I mean it's above rate, right? It's a 4 cost, and it's a 5/5. It quests for 2. It's just here for raw stats, like it, and especially being a 5/5 is really really annoying for Josh and Green Steel in general, just having to deal with, because 5 is a lot of toughness or like a lot of willpower for something to have to like fight through. Um, so we'll have to see how Josh deals with this Scourge McDuck.
Yeah, no, this Scrooge is definitely really, really nice just being that statted line. Because, I mean, it's even good against even Amber Steel. I know we're not seeing this matchup here, but that Scrooge can definitely take out those Rhinos that we've been seeing a problem card. And I've been seeing people putting them in the Blurple deck just for those Rhino reasons. Because there's not really an easy way to deal with Rhino in the early game for Blurple.
Yeah. This position for Josh is extremely tough right now. He had to expose his Prince John. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if he was supposed to do that. Like, I don't know if the Bell was the biggest issue. I think he had to wait and use that strength or the Storm on this Scrooge McDuck because he kind of knew. You kind of have a feeling that your Pete's going to get taken out somehow by this Scrooge McDuck. But I understand what Josh is going for. He doesn't want it singing. He doesn't want it just having a 3/3 is annoying to have to deal with as well. Not just the Scrooge McDuck. So he's doing what he can to survive. This is going to be extremely, extremely tough from here on out.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're just being able to quest here and just Adam sitting at 5 lore, and Josh just got none here, and it can take wait, what are we snowballing here, trying to get some quick lore here that could take out of control real quick.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good, getting the Scrooge off the board now is pretty good. Hopefully he hits it with the discard. But like the Muse is one of those cards in this matchup that doesn't do a whole lot. Hitting a Hades is good. But like hitting Elsa isn't exactly what Josh wants to be doing. Because it's now going to exert whatever he plays next, and get it off the board. Like, Josh has no safe plays. I guess we did see he does have that Pirate Pete, so I guess he doesn't care too much if that it gets exerted, because Adam will have to commit a lot of his board to get rid of it. But I don't know if Adam cares.
Yeah, no, I don't know if really he cares too much about that, because I mean the Pete I don't think has ward, if I'm correct. I don't think it does, because that would be the biggest thing on it.
It doesn't have ward, but it does get resist 1 when it's exerted.
Yeah, the resist one, I don't know if really matters in this matchup as much as the ward does, because we know if the Muses has ward here, and it can't be targeted by like the Elsa, it can't be targeted by other the Hades that can potentially put it down. But I think Hades is just a good card here because you can just target this Pete and put it down in the Inkwell, and it doesn't really get to do anything besides just go, cool, I have this cool card that can then gain resist to my other characters if you don't have a Hades.
Sure, but even if Adam Elsa's it here, Adam always has to swing 2 things into it to get it off the board if he wants to deal with it. Otherwise, Josh can take pretty favorable trades. So, like, even if he goes Elsa and Scrooge into it, he's going to lose both of those characters, which are both extremely good characters. He could swing Fox and, like, this. Yeah, like, he's going to lose 2 characters here no matter what. I think, personally, I think it gets resist 1. So, I think in that situation, I think throwing Fox and Elsa into it was a little bit better, and being able to quest with the Scrooge that doesn't get targeted by this Muses. I wonder what Adam has in his hand that's makes him want to hold on to this Elsa.
It looks like I was gonna say we have one card in hand, but it was the whale. We had
Mm.
our good old buddy, the big whale.
And now he's just
Okay, we're just gonna draw cards. Yeah, we're just gonna
yeah.
keep playing cards to just draw cards. That is a top deck I've ever seen in this deck. You just drew cards to then play more draw cards to then play more draw cards. Wow.
It's kind of what Blurple ends up doing at some point in the game. He does have a Finder's Keeper in his hand too now, so that's not the worst thing for Josh to have to deal with, because like he doesn't mind him taking an entire turn off to basically play Finder's Keepers. But hopefully Josh is looking to turn the corner here. If he can turn the corner here, it'd be massive. He does have the Muse. He does have this beast down. He's going to start gaining card advantage through it. So hopefully he can just keep Adam off of going too crazy.
Yeah, I think we can. I think Josh can kind of come back from this here. It looks like he can. It just matters of can he control what's in Adam's hand here, and I think Adam only has like 2 to 3 cards I think left in his hand. So he can if he can keep it down and keep it low and making Adam top deck here is pretty good if we can keep it that way.
I think he's down. Yeah, I think he's down to like 3 or 4. I'm not sure how Josh wants to deal with this Damatoa. It's not extremely threatening, but it's also not something that he wants to have to deal with. Like 4/5 is just big. He's got another Finder's Keeper. I think he's got his other Finder's Keepers.
He's got a Finders Keepers, a Peter Pan, and a Tamatoa.
Yeah. Notably, Josh has a lot here too. Actually, like this Pete is huge. Wow, okay, this is pretty good for Josh. He has some pretty big characters on board. Isn't under too much threat of this beast, but I think he's got enough value out of this beast that even if Adam does manage to put damage down on it, he doesn't care too much. And his music isn't too exposed either, unless Adam like does something to play a fox this turn, but even that doesn't seem too amazing.
Yeah, no, I think Josh here definitely has taken the control of the game here and just being able to build this wide board now and having big characters. And we see Adam playing a genie and then playing this Peter Pan to rush into this beast to at least put some damage so Josh doesn't draw any cards at the start of the turn or any extra cards at the start of the turn. So now it's just a big 7/5 that can go into challenge into things, but not much you could challenge into when there's no characters exerted.
I mean, Josh is going to turn it sideways every time now. It doesn't, because it does. It's done its job, and you can play another one. He has another one in his hand.
Oh yeah,
And I mean, he's just going to try and keep Adam off of drawing too many cards and having options. Yeah, this is looking dire for Adam here.
yeah. Adam's definitely lost the control and trying to see what he can play here. We know he has Genie in hand, so we know he can keep playing this Genie. But that Muse is just gonna, as long as Josh keeps playing a song, that Muse is just gonna keep bouncing that Genie back into hand over and over again, and it's not gonna really be able to ever stick.
This is, yeah. I mean, the worst part too is Adam losing both of those Hades pretty early, so he's only down to like 2 Hades left in the deck. And he kind of really would like to have access to those right now. Just having their big bodies, they get rid of something on play. It can challenge something relatively well. Like, yeah, and he lost his. I think he's only playing 2 Monstros, so he's down on Monstro too, which would really be what he wants right now.
Yeah. Those monsters can definitely help in some cases here. Being able to rush and then being able to ready back up with the cards that he gets to draw is definitely really good and might be something we're trying to look into here, but it seems like it's going to be kind of a rough spot because Josh is now just discarding cards out of their hand and doing things, what green still normally does.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's smart here, just pitching this Genie, because it'll never actually get to stick with this Muses. Even if he does get to draw a bunch of cards off of it, having to pay 4 for it every time is just not the thing he wants to be doing. Unfortunately, Adam like has a way to draw some cards, but it's gonna take most of his turn and not leave him with nothing to actually like deal with Josh's board currently.
Yeah. And now we get these two beasts. It's just insane. Beast, we get, because I think he even has this Robin Hood shift in his hand as well. And we get this Pirate Pete. This is a state of the board where I don't know if you can really come back from in Blurple. You have this many big bodies, it's just going to be rough to deal with.
Yeah, this is always one of the problems Blurple has had, where it's like if your opponent goes too wide, Blurple just stops being able to answer it. And Monstro is helped with that, but when it gets ripped out of his hand, then there's not much that Adam can do about it. Luckily, he can take out. He really can only take out a beast this turn. He can't even do much else.
Yeah, no, there's not much characters you can take out here. Just the one beast.
Adams also should have 3 damage on it, but I think Adam's going to be hard pressed to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, you do have this popsicle here that could heal some of the characters that kind of hopefully they survive a little bit, but it's still going to be a rough one to come around.
It's specifically this Pete too. This Pete is just going to be massively annoying, and he can also just like keep bouncing these this Elsa and stuff to deal with it.
Yeah, totally can. And the nice thing is too is if this Pete does exert, Adam's not able to sing songs, so he has to hard play all of those, which paying that full ink cost is not ideal what you want to do when you're playing songs, but it can definitely in Blurple's not as bad because you can kind of get to ink a lot quicker, but it's still going to be a rough spot. But now we get to see Beyond the Horizon, and having Adam discard his 3 cards and also Josh discarding his hand to draw 3 cards. So this would be nice, and then having the Muse bounce back card is really good here.
Yeah, I mean, this is having another Muses. Yeah, Adam never gets to play a card ever again, unfortunately, I think. Like, this Genie is never actually going to stick. This also probably never gets to stick again. I mean, I guess he does have to play a song every turn, and he has used a decent amount of songs, and he's only got 1 card in his hand.
Yeah, he might Adam might be able to survive a little bit here, but it's still going to be a rough spot anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's not undoable. He's gotten an okay position on the board right now. Hopefully this Iago sticks. Josh has used a decent amount of his removal, and he only has 1 card in hand, so it's probably relatively safe.
Yeah, it definitely can be safe. I think we're still seeing a couple Storm and a couple Strength of Raging Fire that we're still missing from Josh's hand or Josh's deck to see. So he still has a few of those options to pick from, and then whatever other songs he has in there, but I don't think anything else kind of targets the field besides those cards.
I think he drew another Beyond the Horizon.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what he would want to do with it right now. If he's really interested in playing it. I don't think he is.
And I mean,
I guess he can use the Muses. Yeah, sure.
He
that
can.
Makes sense.
Of course, he can also only choose himself as well, so he doesn't have to choose the opponent, but he ends up doing it anyway, and then just bouncing those 2 other cards in his hand. Bouncing the Elsa and what was the other card? It was the Royal Guard. Yeah.
I think Adam did. He either had a Monstro in his hand or he has it now. It looks like he has it now. If I had to guess, yeah, he did draw it off of the horizon.
Yeah, the monster definitely is can help answer some of this board state here. Can definitely take care of the Robin Hood, can definitely take care of the Pete. Hey, take care of just about anything on the board.
He can actually wipe everything that's exerted right now. If he has enough cards on his hand, he can do it everything.
Oh, we can't we? Because he does have that 8 willpower, so that's definitely
Yeah,
could be definitely worth it.
I probably say it is. I mean, Josh he has 3 cards in his hand, but they're not like, I don't know what am I exactly scared of? Like these, like the Robin Hood and the Space Pirate. Like these are the cards I'm like definitely worried about over anything else that he could be playing.
Yeah, and we see Monster definitely knocking out the whole board, cleaning everything up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but like that's one of those things like Montreal again, helping Blurple just deal with a wide board like that. Because if Josh got to keep going, then Adam's in a really
So
tough
the
position.
yeah, definitely so. And the Monster was just really nice against all of that, and being able to answer that, even bigger characters in general, even if there is a wide board or not, just being able to answer those big characters because he has that 6 strength and the 8 willpower. He can take out a majority of the high end of our characters that we have on the field, which is really good. Like those Robin
Yeah,
Hoods, which is nice.
he keeps Josh off of winning the game this turn. Actually, no, I don't think he
It's
does.
17. He's if he's not able to get rid of the morph on the John Silver, I don't think he wins it. I think because we
He
have these two, where I think he wins here.
yeah, yep. Prince John got him there with the ward. It was a close game though. I did not think that Adam was going to be able to fight back into it, but that monster really turning things around towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, both players
Really
definitely
helped him out.
fought for this win here. I mean, we saw Adam definitely having that early game, being able to kind of control the board a lot more, and then Josh coming in towards the mid game and kind of just took away with it and just went. And then Adam kind of like trying to close up and trying to reach back into there, trying to gain control again, and came very close in doing so, but it just happened. Josh just drew the right cards.
Well, it's funny because you look at that game and like on turn 2, Adam seems to be pulling so far ahead. Josh has basically nothing. Um, and then it felt like Adam kind of stalled out a bit. Weirdly enough, like he didn't, but like it felt like he did, where it didn't feel like he was playing enough to the board or like just exerting enough pressure. Weirdly enough, even though he was playing like Scrooge McDucks, who you would think is like, oh, this is good enough. I think the big turn was when he threw his Scrooge and his the fox at a space pirate. Um, when I don't think he had to. I think he could have thrown the Elsa and the fox at it, and it would have been. I think keeping the Scrooge around for a little bit longer would have been better, but that might have been the turn where like things really started going south for him.
Yeah, that was definitely as soon as the Space Pirate Pete came out, it was definitely a rough spot, and you had to answer that at somewhere, and how you answered it was going to be rough either way for Adam.
Yeah, it was a pretty important turn to think about like what you're doing and like get it right. And unfortunately, it just Adam probably had a plan for the Elsa, and it just didn't work out for him, which is it happens.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how he adapts. Going, I think he will. I think he was on the play the first game too, right? Um,
Um,
Going on the play again.
can't remember. Yeah.
See how he changes up his game plan.
Let's see if he gets three friends on the other side again. Maybe he might.
He might.
It doesn't look like it though.
Yeah.
It looks like we're
No.
missing out on that.
No bell either. Yeah. That's gonna be a tough one. It's interesting. I do find it interesting. Well, there's the friends.
Yep.
He inked his sail and kept a typo, which is
Yeah.
interesting to me. I feel like normally he would want to keep his sail over typo, but maybe he just doesn't have. I don't know, he has a number of inkables in his hand. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not for sure either. I was looking at that too, and I was like, that's interesting to put Sail in the Inkwell this turn, or even on turn one was quite interesting, and not just and then playing this Tipo. So it's interesting to see that. Now we do get to see a sudden chill discarding cards. Of course, Adam discards his Hades that he had in his hand, because it's not really usable right yet. There's no real way to put it out anytime early.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see if he tries to fire off this friends now. Because if he doesn't fire off the friends now, then I would be pressed for him to just ink it this turn. Yeah, because if it gets ripped out of his hand with an Ursula, then he's in a very not good position. It's one of those things in this matchup where, like, if you see you're playing against Green Steel, if I see my friends in my opener or on like turn 2, I always feel somewhat inclined to just ink it. So I'd rather become ink than just get straight discarded. But he got away with it.
Yeah, I mean, he even drew one for
one.
turn. Yeah, he drew one for turn, which was like, all right, so now we get to see those friends doing their things, becoming friends, and drawing more cards.
I mean, he's probably going to ink a card and then try to do another one. I wouldn't see why not this turn. He doesn't have a whole lot else to do. Oh, or he can try and develop a fox.
Quest, yeah. I mean, having this fox here is pretty good. I mean, it makes it so that this shift Robin Hood doesn't come out and challenge into the Scrooge. I mean, not like it's going to knock out anything, but at least he doesn't have to worry about it too much, and it kind of threatens to exerting it, and even threatens the Ursula here. Whenever she does try to sing a song and she gets to sing it twice, now this fox kind of gets to threaten that on the board, saying, hey, if you decide you want to sing a song, this fox is coming after you, and it's going to banish your character.
Yeah. It's just, it also exposes the fox to the Ursula is the big problem that I see. That it's like, oh, you're now taking your answer for Ursula and putting it on the board where it's a lot. I mean, it's not exactly safer in your hand. You're playing against Emerald Steel at the end of the day, but like, it's just one of those things where it's like, would you rather have it exposed and take the chance that he's not going to try and remove it, or do you leave it in your hand and hope that he doesn't have to try? Only if he doesn't try to like sudden chill you with this Ursula.
Yeah. I mean, we
took the gamble and it paid off. He did, yeah. He does have this also, which is nice. Getting rid of the Ursula there is pretty huge. Though I don't think Josh has a whole lot to do with this Ursula. I think he was. I actually think he was just playing it as bait, kind of hoping to scare Adam into misplaying with it out.
Yeah, because I mean, we have a shift Robin Hood. We have a game referee Pete. We have a hypnotize, and I think is that another Robin Hood in his hand shift.
I think so. I can't quite tell. But the shift Robin Hood's not doing a ton, unfortunately, and this Hidden Cove's not gonna last.
Yeah, no, that was the other card. It was a Hidden Cove. Yeah, no, this Hidden Cove is just gonna get knocked out real quickly.
It's gonna go away, and it's not gonna expose Adam too much. Because if he loses this Fox, I don't like. If it trades with this Pete, I don't think he cares too much. And now Adam has like a win condition on the board with this Genie, because that's just one of those things that Josh can't deal too well with. These like big body evasives, especially with his hand currently.
Yeah, and of course now we see that Hidden Cove, of course, being banished with the Elsa and the Fox here attacking into it. And then now we have the Scrooge course questing for 2, just being good old Scrooge McDuck. Being a 5/5 that can quest for 2 is definitely going to gain some lure here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Josh really. I mean, he's probably gonna have to start playing as Robin Hood's out. Oh, okay, so he does this to get the damage he needs for Genie. That's smart.
Yeah, very very good play, and then having them Muse to bounce back another character back to the hand, which is good. So kind of weakens the board a little bit here. So that's pretty good. And we see, of course, Hades coming down here and putting our Robin Hood Shearwood back into the Inkwell and so he doesn't have to deal with it at all, and makes it nice and easy for Adam.
Yeah, this is a tough position for Josh to be in. He's got no cards in hand. He knows he has this Elsa. He's questing for a ton every turn. He really needs to find something. I don't know what his outs quite are. Unfortunately, these muses aren't doing anything except targeting this Elsa, and they just don't have enough power to fight back. This beast could do it, but it might be too late.
Yeah, this beast I think
Gotta
is a
play it.
little late, but he has to. But I think it's just too late. I mean, it's going to get him 2 cards next turn, but I don't even think those 2 cards are going to do anything for him.
Yeah, that's if it gets him 2 cards this turn. Adam could just have another, like he has another Elsa in his hand. It's not going to.
And then, of course, now we see that both muses tacking into the fox, knocking it out, and banishing it, but also losing those muses as well. And now we just going ahead and go into game 3.
Yeah, Josh realizes the situation he's in. He knows if that beast doesn't stick, then it's over. That's one of the rough things about Emerald Steel is when you just run out of momentum like that, especially against a deck like Blurple that just draws a ton of cards for just playing the game. You're bound to just run out of resources before they are.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's definitely... Blurple does have a very nice way to draw cards and keep that consistency in their hands so that they can win those later games and keep control in that later half of the game. Whereas Green still has some decent stuff and can help control the hand and then has some good strong characters on board. But it's definitely a little bit rougher if your opponent's still just constantly drawing cards and just keeping up with what you're doing and just making your stuff what you're doing is pretty much doing nothing at that point if they're going to keep drawing cards.
Yeah, it's one of the hard parts. Like this matchup's not. It feels kind of 50-50 because you can do what Josh did first game where like he was able to just kind of outmaneuver Adam a bit, and Adam also kind of stalled out like a little bit. And then there's games that can happen where he just like Josh just stalls out because like Emerald Steel has a good draw engine, but it is kind of particular. So if you can't set it up at all, like the game starts to run away from you.
Yeah. Of course, it looks like that we are keeping one of the Ursulas. He might have kept both Ursulas. He had our 2-cost Ursula that rips a song out of the opponent's hand. It looks like he kept one. I know he had 2 before the altar, but he might have kept both. I'm not for sure there. I didn't get to see what Adam had, what he had. I think he did have a bell at one point. And yeah, okay, I do see the bell in Adam's hand here, which can be good as long as we see an item. I don't know if he has a popsicle, and he does have the popsicle in hand. So he can go off and get this bell out here and maybe even get to sing a song next turn, if that's even possible.
He doesn't have he doesn't have a song yet. But if Josh goes for this Ursula, Josh does have a morph in his hand, so he has morph into beast, which is interesting. He could try to very quickly go for Beyond the Horizon because he has it in his hand. And if he does, that might be good enough against something like Blurple. Just like strand them super early and don't let them get their ramp up. which Adam notably doesn't have any ramp, which is also very good for Josh. And I think that's what he's going to go for, is like a really, really early Beyond the Horizon.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the case here. I mean, we have, of course, in Adam's hand, we do have the Monstro. We do have another Bell and a Popsicle. So he could play both of those options down and seeing if we get this other Bell so you can have two of these Singer 3 characters. That would be really nice. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that yet. But we do get this Royal Guard, and we do get to see the Bell with the Popsicle being popped here.
Yeah. This is pretty good for Adam, even though he didn't hit his ramp. But Blurple like is very, very reliant on hitting ramp on 2. Because after this, I think Adam has like a Fox in his hand and stuff, and he has some powerful things to do, but nothing too crazy. Like the rest of his hand doesn't come online until he gets to like 4 or 5. And if Josh can stick like this Beyond the Horizon or something, he might just be sitting pretty.
Yeah, if he can get that out, it'd be really cool and really good here for him. And we do get to see I think Josh here inking this Ursula and then shifting into the Beast on the morph. So this Beast can definitely get him some drawing cards here and potentially sing him a song for next turn, singing that Beyond the Horizon, because he can't do it quite yet. Because he needs that 7 to sing the character, and he only has 2 characters that equal a total of 6. So we still have to wait a turn for that.
He's got to wait 2 more turns at the very least. Unless he can shift this Robin Hood, which I don't think he had in his hand.
Yeah, I don't think he had the shift Robin Hood, and if he did, I think that would have been probably the play is to play that, and then you get to play this this Beyond the Horizon. Having your opponent discard, I wouldn't discard my hand, I would keep it, and then you have that Beast for the follow-up. But we see a couple cards being drawn here because of the Beast trigger effect. And we see the Sudden Chill, and I think it was a Strength of a Raging Fire. That was the other card that was drawn. So this could be a really good card to kind of pull out here to knock out some of these Foxes, or this Fox, and then these couple Bells. And we do get this Muse, which is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this Muse, again, it's kind of rough because it just doesn't have too many good targets. Did Adam do anything?
I think he just inked and passed, I think is all he did. I don't think Adam did anything.
He exerted his ink, but he didn't do anything with it.
Yep. Now we do get to see this Ursula looking at Adam's hand and potentially trying to see if we can find a song in there, but Adam doesn't have a song in his hand. He got a couple characters down, and trying now, Josh is figuring out what can we do with those characters. What does he need to worry about? And we can see what's going to happen in the future to come here against this. We do get to see him play Strength, knocking out this Fox so he doesn't knock out anything. We do see a Elsa come down on Adam's side, exerting the Beast, and then having Ursula or Elsa and Belle challenge into it to knock this Beast out.
I think I would have liked to see Josh do the Beyond the Horizon that turn. If he exerts them, uses and Beast or something, and sings it, because he knows the Elsa's there, so he knows he's going to lose his Beast anyway. And he got rid of the Fox, so he has to trade both things into it. He has to trade both Bells to get this Beast off the board. So that's the turn I think I would have liked to have seen him do it. But he does get the Prince John off here, which is nice.
Yeah, no, that's
like 6 cards instead of 3.
Yeah, no, this Prince John definitely paired up with this Beyond the Horizon is definitely really good here. I think definitely seeing Beyond the Horizon would have been nice to have the previous turn, because I mean he had Adam had 4 cards in his hand, and Elsa wasn't out at that time, so he could have gotten rid of the Elsa, could have got rid of the Hades, and got rid of a bunch of those other cards that would have been problematic, and he wouldn't have to worry about it and be freely to sing those songs as well, and then keeping that Beast on board and keeping a couple other things on the board besides, of course, Adam having the Bell. and 2 bells actually on the field.
Adam playing this croquette mallet, so it gives a thing rush, which is pretty cool. I've seen a lot of Blurple players putting this in there. They can go get it back with Tamatoa, which is nice. So you can kind of give Iago or Bell or any of these things that doesn't have rush, you can try to make use of it. Vanish being annoying here against the steel deck, but Adam didn't have too much of a choice. He really wants to get that Muses off so he can not be oppressed by this 4-cost Singer, basically.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we seeing Josh finally getting the quest here for this game. And we're still at Adam that has 1 lore and Josh has 2. So this is definitely a slower turn compared to these previous rounds that we've had.
Yeah, this game is not going anywhere anytime soon. I think Adam's trying to think if he wants to get this Tamatoa down. No, he just gets the Bell down, or the Elsa down. Start chipping away at some of these characters he's got on the board. Hopefully these Robin Hoods don't turn into big Robin Hoods.
Yeah, and I think we even have this this Elsa. We also see a Friends in Adam's hand here, so he can replenish his hand a little bit here, because it is kind of low. And now we do see, of course, our Shift Robin Hood. So this might be a little bit of a problem, and we get to see a Beast. So all these characters on board can quest for 2 here and can be very rough. We do see Prince John singing a Storm and then having...
Another one. It's another one gone.
Oh, dang. Wow.
I had a feeling. He shifted on there, and I said he's going to do it to him.
Oh, we see... get him again. Dang, we see Robin Hood and Ursula singing another copy of Beyond the Horizon here, having Adam discard cards, and then being able to draw cards as well from Josh's side. Wow, okay. We just gonna keep drawing cards here. This is a match here. This is definitely each player trying to see and control the board, and they are both doing it extremely well and trying to keep more card advantage in their hand, and it's getting close.
He just drew an Ursula. If he plays an Ursula on Adam, it's gonna be really bad here. Do it. I know you got it. Yeah. Got that, friends. This is, I mean, Adam has been fighting from the back foot for quite a while. Ever since that first Beyond the Horizon, he's been fighting from the back foot, and I think it's just getting worse and worse now.
Yeah, no, this is definitely, it seems like right now Josh has definitely got his advantage and definitely has controlled the game so far, and it looks like he might, I'm not going to say he's going to take it yet, but it definitely seems like he's in the advantage here, and being able just to build these wide characters and have these big bodies on board are definitely very good.
Adam can take out the Robin Hood this turn, and he can take out, I mean, he can take out both of these characters, but I don't know how much it matters.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that we get to take out this Robin Hood so it doesn't get too challenged into anything, gaining lore, even if it just quested. It's definitely really nice to kind of take that out at least, and doesn't give him the option to sing another song with it too, and he doesn't have to get hit with another Beyond the Horizon, you know, because that was not fun for him. But now we just get to discard all our hand, because that is exactly what Green Steel does, Emerald Steel here, just making your opponent just discard a bunch of cards. Adam has now got 0 cards in his hand, and it looks like it can be a rough spot right now for Adam.
Yeah, I mean, Josh also just has a full grip too. Like, Josh is going to just vomit his entire hand onto the board and just overwhelm Adam here. So unless Adam finds exactly Monstro, and even then he doesn't even have enough ink to pay for it. I think that's the real thing. The fact that Adam never got to ramp in this game, really, really was tough. Purple really needs to find its ramp on to get to that 6, 7, 8 cost characters, because its top end is where it really shines.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think we do get to see this Ursula singing the Storm here, and being able to play it twice with Ursula's effect is really good. Being able to knock out one of the characters and then putting damage on another. We do get to see a shift Robin Hood from the hand and shifting onto it, and we get to see 2 shift Robin Hoods here on the field. And then we get to play a Hidden Cove, moving Beast to the Hidden Cove just so it survives a little bit longer is great. But we're just going to be questing out with all these characters, and it's going to be insane. We're sitting here at 13 lore on Josh's side from that now.
Yeah, I think this is where it ends. Adam only having this Elsa and not enough power to actually get rid of anything.
Yep, and then there it is.
Yep.
There's the concede. Wow.
That was, I mean, that's prime example of Emerald Steel doing what Emerald Steel does. Beyond the Horizon is an interesting card. I've seen some Emerald Steel players, and they're just like, no, I don't think Beyond the Horizon is very good. It's kind of whatever. And then others are just like, this card is cracked in half for Emerald Steel, and you should be playing some amount of copies of it. It's been a little, not polarizing, but interesting to see how different Emerald Steel players are really building it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I personally like the Beyond the Horizon card for multiple reasons. One, I like the concept of having like a whole new world, but a little bit smaller, so it can not give your opponent 7 cards, and also you get to choose if you want to give it to your opponent, which is really nice. And then of course, it's a Stitch song. I like me my Hawaiian roller coaster ride. I like to go on a little roller coaster ride every time we sing this song. You know,
I
hey,
know you do.
We love it. But no, this is definitely a great and fun match, and definitely showing off both decks here and both ink colors in this new set and how strong they both are. And it's been great.
Yeah, I mean, I will say one thing for Beyond the Horizon is I think it does give this deck, or Emerald Steel, I think it does give it the reach it needs against specifically Purple. Because even last set, I've played Blurple against Drain Steel a couple of times, and it never felt that bad because you just had so many ways to draw cards. So you never really felt like you were out of the game. Like their discard just never really caught up to you sometimes. But Beyond the Horizon, just being like, oh, I don't care how many cards you have in your hand, I'm putting you down to 3, can just be extremely backbreaking. Because it's like you just lose so many tools if you're willy-nilly drawing cards. You really have to be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah, no, the Beyond the Horizon definitely, I think, has found its home in the Emerald Steel decks here. As much as I want it to be an Amber Steel, I think it definitely fits better in the Emerald Steel variants here, and it's definitely really good. Seeing it played against, of course, Blurple, being able to that's probably one of the best drawing cards, or drawing ink color combinations, I think, is the Blurple. There's probably a couple other ones you can, like, you've got, like, Whole New World type shenanigans, but we're not going to talk about those. Just pure draw engine and not replenishing, making your opponent discard anything, just pure drawing is, I think Blurple definitely has that really strong draw engine in the deck. Yeah, so that is our video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you click that like button down below. And if you're new, click the subscribe button and get notified of videos just like this one here, because these are some really cool matches. We are excited for Reign of Jafar here and seeing what cool deck and ink color combinations come out from it here. So until next time, we will see you later. Bye.